Hello everyone, my name is Michael, and today I'm playing a demo of a game called Merry Crisis. And I'm just gonna jump us right into the thick of things. Oh, do you wanna join for the Let's Read? Seems like he doesn't. So, Merry Crisis is basically a demo that puts you into the thick of the action of a game about 3 loves within 1 week that has zero chill. It's basically a character-driven romance visual novel about love, loss, and belonging, so I'm pretty excited to start this game. One thing I want to point out before I get into, the starting screen of the game, I noticed that whenever you hover your mouse over the photo card, it shows the back setting of New York, but when you hover away, it shows Singapore. I just thought this was a cool detail because this game does have a lot of references to the feeling of belonging in a new place. Whether you want to continue on with a new life in a new location or go back to your home to continue your life. I thought this was a really cool detail for the menu screen of this game. And I think this game, from the UI layout alone, was made in Ren'Py. I will let the developers correct me if I'm wrong, but this really reminds me of the layouts of the Ren'Py engine. I've actually been working on a project recently in Ren'Py that I'll probably be talking more about later this month. But yes, I really recognize this entire UI layout. But let's go ahead and start. Press spacebar to click or press spacebar or click to continue. Yes, I can read. Player setup. Your character is... okay, a man, a woman, or a non-binary person. Okay. I really like how you get a choice for pronouns as well as the identity of your character. I really enjoyed that about a lot of games recently. I'm gonna go ahead and press non-binary. For flashback scenes, your character was born male or female. Okay. Since I was born male, I'm just gonna pick male. There are 3 romanceable characters in the game, all of them gender selectable. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do random selection. Content warning. This game may explore themes of racial prejudice, homophobia, family conflict, and transphobia, depending on the playable character's identity and choices. Display in-game content warnings, proceed without in-game warnings. Let's go ahead and put the in-game content warnings just in case. Prologue. The Arrival. And I think we're in New York. I'm assuming because this street really looks like something in New York City. The 22nd of December. You sprint down the street. There had been an early sprinkling of snow 2 days ago, and the streets are still slippery with patches of black ice. It's absolute madness to be running full tilt the way you are, but nobody bats an eye. You've lived here long enough to know that New York City is full of people who are late to something or another. In your case, your flight to Singapore is in less than 4 hours, and you still need to grab your stuff from the apartment. Oh my god! Whoa! You need to have better planning! I know how chaotic New York airports can be. You should have gotten ready a day before, and you should be at the airport by now if you're doing an international flight. I'm not gonna lecture my in-game character on this, but as someone who's flown to New York a few times before, and yes, I was checking to make sure that my webcam was on the top corner and the bottom corner where it will cover up text. But anyways, going back to the lecture, if you're doing an international flight, especially from New York, you need to be there at minimum 4 hours before your flight. At minimum. Probably more, because New York security lines take forever, especially if you're going international. Sorry, I have to do that little lecture to this character right here. I had to do that lecture. Maybe with JFK, you might have a little bit more luck. Well, yeah, JFK is the international airport. I don't know why you would go to LaGuardia. Enough about New York. Let's, play the game about New York. Run like my life's on the line. Slow down to avoid falling flat on my face. Well, you're in New York going to a flight, so run. You're exaggerating, but not by much. Your mother will probably murder you for missing Christmas dinner. She's already mad enough that you're visiting for only a week. You're still charging down the street when disaster strikes. Yep, okay, we're gonna fall. Your foot hits a patch of ice, and you flail frantically in the blind hope of catching a railing. Whoa! Fortunately, someone catches your arm before you faceplant into the sidewalk. Oh, doggies. They have little doggies. It's Nat, your housemate. I know you're excited to come home to me, but running on these streets is not a good idea. Liz barks and wags her tail, beaming at you, but Kehoe gives you a stern look, as though in reproach. I'm assuming Kehoe's a small dog. Oh my god, we're getting the bombastic side-eye. Of course the small dog gives you a bombastic side-eye. Aw, I'm never too busy to give the dogs a good pat. Give Nat a quick nod and wait before continuing on. We gotta pet the dogs. You technically have no time to spare, but you've never been able to resist these two. You toss the toy bone. You toss the toy bone. You toss the toy bone. You toss the toy bone for Liz, then give Kehoe a pat. Liz scampers off happily in search of the bone, and Kehoe gives you an imperious bark of satisfaction. Woof! Nat watches you, gaze lingering, expression hovering somewhere between fond and sad and something you still don't have a name for. Even now, her voice carries the warmth you spent the past few years trying to forget. 4 weeks ago. The breakup had been amicable, mature. You've both simply been moving in opposite directions, or so Nat had put it anyway. You stand in the kitchen of your shared apartment, reeling from all that had been said and left unsaid. The radiator hisses unevenly in the corner, working overtime to fill the silence. A half-drunk mug of tea sits between you, long since gone cold. You sense that Nat had been happy for a while now, and you hadn't realized that it had gotten this bad. Breakup bad. Are you even happy? With me? I'm not unhappy, just too busy and distracted. Deep down, I know I haven't been happy. Ooh. Dang, we are starting off really strong. Holy shit. Ooh. Like, this is a really tough choice to start off with. Damn. I guess in a way, which one's more truthful? Just being too busy and distracted? Or the deep down? Oh. This is a rough one. I'm just gonna pick what I think to be like the truthful answer for this character. If you're honest with yourself, you haven't been happy for a while now. For the past few months, you've been pushing your doubts and concerns under the rug, assuming that they were all things you could fix later. Nat reaches over and takes your hand in hers, smooth and warm and big-knuckled. It's a gesture that's so familiar, it makes your heart ache. I love you, but we can't keep going on like this. Something sharp and desperate claws at your throat. Can we work this out? Nod silently. I know a dead end when I see one. We also just said that they've not been very happy, so yeah. It seems like this character may not be, ready for a relationship from what I'm assuming from the very beginning. As much as you wish things had worked out between you, you lived long enough to know that sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. You know a dead end when you see one. The two of you stare at each other from across the table. The silence stretches between you. A part of you wants to cling on, but was there anything left to save? Journal updated. Oh, journal. November 27th. Nat calls it. We've run out of road. All the problems we've been running from finally catch up to us. A week passes. The 3rd of December. You're still living with Nat in the same tiny apartment. You've already packed your things into neatly labeled boxes, and you've been scouring websites for apartments to rent, but New York City rent is sky high. Yeah, no shit. As a late 20-something-year-old without much savings to your name, there just aren't many options. Try my best to move on. Unlike my belongings, my feelings prove a lot harder to pack up and stow away. Ooh, dang. I guess, it is over. Man, this is a tough one. Journal updated. The 3rd of December. 4 years of happiness with Nat. Packed away into 6 boxes. Ooh, damn. You pack your feelings away and sail up, along with the rest of your belongings. 6 boxes to contain half of the life you once shared. You remind yourself that this is for the best. This is what Nat wanted. A car honks loudly. The sound of traffic transports you back to the cold street, breath fogging in the December air. It's beginning to snow properly now. Tiny snowflakes settle in Nat's hair, on the shoulders of her jacket. Reflexively, I lean to brush them off, step back, establishing distance. Man. Holy shit. Yeah, given the context of a relationship with this character, like, we've had a 4-year relationship. However, you had to break it off due to unhappiness between the two. As well as, like, you know, our character probably not being in the same place as Nat. Oh, man. We should probably establish distance. You step back, putting enough distance between you and Nat to hopefully prevent yourself from doing anything rash. It doesn't, however, stop the small pang in your heart from building to a dull ache. You can't help thinking of all the winter days you spent together, making angels of fresh snow and sipping hot chocolate by a window. You push the memories away. You're no longer 23, a college senior, still in love and full of hope for the future. The space between you seems to crackle, but the silence is a thick layer of hard-packed ice. It's Nat who breaks the silence. When does your flight leave? 3.5 hours. You need to go! You need to go! With a change of expression worthy of an 80s sitcom, all the color bleeds out of Nat's face. Shit! Need a lift? At your hesitation, Nat waves a hand. It's no problem. What's the point of a holiday if you can't even use it to save a... But Nat falters a little at this, but soldiers on. A housemate in a time of crisis. The hesitation when Nat said housemate makes her heart constrict. Damn. Shake my head swiftly. I can't keep relying on Nat like this. Give Nat a grateful hug, thank you. How would I repay you? Do you want my firstborn child? I joke. Sometimes humor is the best way to go about it. Nat laughs lightly, and you remember how much you love the sound. You catch an expression flicker across Nat's face that's all too familiar. You'd once joke about marriage and children, though those times are long over. Oh, hell no! Keep your future children. En route to JFK. Okay, it is JFK! It is JFK! You should have gone there earlier! Nat's one of the few New Yorkers you know who owns a set of wheels. Okay, that is pretty impressive, actually. Not a lot of people in New York own cars unless they are, you know, not really in the city. I go to Long Island a bunch, so, yeah, I mainly just ride in cars from, you know, family members and friends. You spend countless weekends exploring the small towns along the Hudson River, hiking in the nearby Catskills, going on road trips. You've been driving through a blizzard to Quebec, singing terrible pop songs at the top of your lungs, when you first realize how in love with Nat you are. At the next stop sign, Nat turns a glance at you. What will you say when your family asks you what will you say when your family asks you what you're still doing in New York? You expected to return to Singapore after college, but you started dating Nat in senior year, so you found a way to stay a little longer. 1 year led to the next, and before you knew it, you'd spent nearly 3 years in New York after graduating. I do miss Singapore. Sometimes I wonder what I'm still doing here. Even without Nat, New York's starting to feel like home. Ooh. Huh. Which one has better job prospects? Okay, sorry, I had to make the joke. But truly, what one does have better job prospects? Because keep in mind already, this character is having issues finding a new apartment in New York and they barely have savings. Though would they want to live with family though in Singapore? Oh man. That's a really interesting question. Would this character prefer New York or Singapore? I guess since I'm in control of the character and it's mainly my thoughts that, you know, are going into it, like, maybe that's where I should, you know, think about more what I would decide. I mean, realistically, since job prospects in New York, like, maybe I'm thinking too much about work since that's, like, you know, my mindset right now. Yeah. At this point, you've been in New York for 7 years. You have a small circle of friends and favorite spots, things you hate about the city, and things you defend to the ends of the earth. But some days, there's a bone-deep ache that niggles at you whenever you think about returning home. Nat had never pushed you to settle in New York, but you know it had put a strain on your relationship, not knowing if you'd one day want to move back to Singapore. At times, you do wonder if the breakup had always been inevitable. Without Nat, you're not sure there's anything left in the city for you. You let out a long exhale and look out the window on your side of your car. Maybe I would like to return home someday. Nat stares at you for a long time, the pain in her eyes unmistakable. There's a brief silence. I don't know if the city will feel the same without you. The traffic light turns green, again, finally. And Nat starts the car up again. Nat slides into a spot at the airport drop-off area. See you when you get back? You can't help but think about all the times Nat had driven you to the airport, kissed you goodbye, and told you how much she'd miss you while you were gone. How many things you had done together without knowing it would be the last time. A crooked smile tugs at the corner of Nat's lips. Nat's lips. Yeah. Enjoy your week home. Journal updated. Wait, hold on. Oh, 22nd December. That sends me to the airport. When... I don't know if that's a error with the programming. I feel like that's like a reference. Yeah, this looks like a reference to a label on Ren'Py. Like, it was like a label to decide whether or not you pick the pronouns at the beginning of the game. Like, you know, pick pronoun for, you know, he, she, they. Like, pick pronoun, and it's trying to call that, but the full command showed up. I should not be doing QA right now. I should not be doing QA. When he pulls away, the goodbye feels final. One very long flight later. First floor, 24th December. You wheel your luggage into the lift of your public housing block. The doors are about to clang shut when someone dashes towards you at full speed. Stick out a hand to stop the door. Oh god, poke at the alarm button in blind panic. Calmly press the door open button. Do nothing. The person can take the next lift. Let's be nice. Whoa! Wait, was that a time? Wait, was that timed? I didn't click anything. Oh fuck, I took too much time to think. The person continues to rush forward. Oh! Shit! The lift doors clang shut around the boot. Uh-oh. A second later, the doors jerk back open, and the person strolls in, grinning at you. Sorry, didn't want to have to wait for the next one. The lifts are so damn slow. Smile ruefully. Sorry, I should have been more help. Raise an eyebrow. So eager to get in the same lift as me? Shrug and jerk a chin at the buttons. Floor? I want to do that one. The woman lets out a low, musical laugh at this, then moves in closer to you, dark eyes dancing with amusement. Well, I'm glad I did. She reaches out to press the button for the 11th floor, the one you live on. You put two and two together. This must be Shay, your neighbor's new tenant, the one your mother complains about in every phone call. The company she brings home, the late-night jamming sessions with her bandmates, the muddy mountain bike tracks she leaves in the corridor. You study the woman in greater detail as the lift starts trundling upward. She's wearing ripped black jeans and a sleeveless red tee which shows off strong shoulders, defined muscles, and tan, sun-kissed skin. There's a guitar case slung over her shoulder. When you return your gaze to the woman's eyes, you realize you've been caught staring. She winks at you. Like what you see? Her voice is low and playfully flirtatious, and you can definitely see why your mother disapproves. Well, I'm sorry. It's just I've heard a lot about you. Shay, right? We're neighbors, I say matter-of-factly. Blink, brain short-circuiting. Do you happen to flirt with everyone you meet in the lift? You know what? I'm gonna be playful with Shay. Only when they're as cute as you are. Damn. Okay, she's smooth. She's smooth. You laugh, and Shay's dimples flash. It's nice to finally meet you. Your mother talks about you all the time. The one that got away. She watches way too many K-dramas. I'm not even sure she realizes it's supposed to refer to failed romances. Your conversation is interrupted by a loud ding as the lift arrives on your floor. You step out of the lift into the corridor after Shay. You spend countless afternoons kicking a ball back and forth along this very corridor with your brother. You catalog the changes since the last time you've been back home for Lunar New Year. It's been more than 8 months since then, much to your mother's disapproval. For one, there's a new row of thriving plants extending from your family's unit to the one next door. Shay smiles at you and gestures down the corridor. Want to be introduced to the fam? You blink. A split second later, you realize she's referring to her plants. Sure, why not? Okay, yeah, immediately. I want to know these plants. Shay introduces each plant to you in loving detail. The finicky orchid, the indescribable ZZ plant, and the drama queen fiddle leaf fig. Finally, Shay waves at your family's sad bougainvillea. I don't know how to pronounce that word, to be honest. That's been neglected for years. Hey, maybe you could give this poor soul some TLC while you're here. TLC? Wait. Is that the TLC I know? Hold on. TLC meeting. Tender loving care. Okay. No, I was thinking of a very different kind of abbreviation. Yeah, no, I was thinking of a totally different kind of abbreviation. I'm only here for a week. Oh. Shay's face falls slightly, but she quickly recovers. We'll make it count. See you around, neighbor. You continue on your way down the corridor to your unit. Journal updated. December 24th. Arrived home. Met the neighbor's mom's been complaining about. Shay's cute. We've already fallen in love with the neighbor next door. You continue on your way down the corridor to your unit. I'm home! I like the bear. I really like that bear right there. I like the bear. Your mother rushes out of the kitchen to smack you in the arm. Ow! Why? You should have come back a week earlier, or stayed a week longer. 1 week. Pathetic. Not enough time to binge watch a K-drama. A second later, she pulls you into a brief hug. She's never been a particularly physically affectionate person, but she does hug you each time you come back home to visit. You return the embrace. In your arms, she feels smaller, thinner than you remember. Your dad comes running out of his room at the commotion. He, on the other hand, has grown a belly. There you are! Should've let us pick you up from the airport. No need to waste money on a taxi. He waves a hand at the containers on the table, beaming proudly. I, the Bowed, for your favorite stall at the Red Hill Market. The Bowed. The Bowed? Oh, there's a character bio list. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Okay. There's a bio. Oh my god, this is cool. Your recent flatmate and very recent ex. Your current flatmate. Friendship is... okay, it's getting close to like almost a full bar. Romance, yeah. Chu. Chu? Chu? Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. My American is showing. Your first love. The two of you haven't spoken in years, and you still harbor some resentment. A very low romance and friendship. Shay, your neighbor's new tenant. There is a slight pretentious edge to your interactions. Okay, we're getting higher up there in friendship and romance after first interaction. Judy, your best friend from junior college. The two of you are friends. Okay, we're almost halfway across friendship. Mom, the two of you have a decent relationship. We're pretty low on that. Papa, the two of you have a decent relationship. Okay. D, the two of you have a decent relationship. Okay. Keyhole. Nad's Cairn Terrier, who thinks he's the king of the world. The two of you like each other. Almost halfway through friendship. And Liz. Nad's Border Collie, whose greatest obsession is fetch. The two of you like each other. Nice. I, the Bowed from your favorite stall at Red Hill Market. What is the Bowed? I might have to look that one up as well. What is the Bow? What is the Bowed? Oh, it's packed food. Takeaway or packed food. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was a bit curious. Your mother frowns accusatorily at you, taking in your ravenous expression. Sometimes I think you come back for the food more than for us. Your dad shrugs. I'm happy as long as something works as bait. Where's D? D, younger brother. He's out hanging out with a friend. Again! On Christmas Eve! She makes apostrophe marks with her fingers at the word friend, and shares a meaningful glance at with your father. You take this with a pinch of salt. Your brother has a habit of simply assuming things that she likes to believe. And yet, she has done the opposite with Nat, continuing to refer to her as a flatmate months after you told them about your relationship. Warning. Slight racial prejudice and homophobia. Got it. You suppose it was just easier than confronting the fact that you were dating a black American instead of a Chinese Singaporean. Though really, they should be used to your unconventional choices by now. Before you can sink further into these thoughts, the front door swings open violently. Your younger brother tosses his socks and bag by the gate and sashays into the room. Sashays? I like his shirt. If you ever sell t-shirts with that style, I'll buy one. Hello! Something smells amazing! Can I have some? Your mother rolls her eyes and mutters something about bottomless stomachs, but waves everyone over to the dining room. Elbow my brother, smirking. Mom thinks you were on a date. Nodded him slightly awkwardly hi. Smile him sup. We used to be close, but we've grown apart since I left. Tease your brother and mother! Your mom glances at you, betrayed, but your brother only laughs. Okay, the mother will love us either way. Your mother's eyes light up with hope. So it's true. I can neither confirm nor deny. Your brother plonks down in the seat next to you. Every time I see you, you look even older than I remember. Damn! Damn, D! That's exactly how aging works, genius. Sucks to be you. At least I'm not the one getting dumber each year. The two of you grin at each other. You never admit it out loud, but it's good to see him. For the first couple of minutes, there's only the sounds of utensils scraping as all four of you practically inhale the food. It's truly the best thing you taste in weeks, maybe months. I mean, I do agree, American food is not the best. Okay, every time I travel internationally, I feel better eating food in other places than the US. I know that sounds really weird for me to admit, but I actually do. Like, when I visited Japan, like, about 2 years ago, I enjoyed the food a lot more in Japan than in America. That kind of says a little bit about American food, though. After the feeding frenzy has died down, conversation resumes. So, how have you been? Tell my family about my life in New York. Answer vaguely and remain mostly silent. Let's tell the family. You tell them about your job, a new hole-in-the-wall Chinese restaurant you discovered, and the latest dating disaster that has befallen Kenny, the son of a family friend. It's almost as though you never left. Once you warmed up a little, you start talking more about yourself and how you've been. You talk about the record deal you've gotten, and how they given the green light on your draft album, which is still on track for a release in spring next year. Oh, maybe we could collaborate with our neighbor. Your parents had never been too keen on you making music for a living, but at this, your mother slips you a small smile. See, she likes it. Your father has been karaokeing to your YouTube channel. Oh my god, that is such a dad behavior. That's good. Very catchy. Your brother smirks. He sings so loud, the neighbors know it now. Eventually, the conversation turns to Nat, and even though you had intended to tell them about the breakup, you can't bring yourself to in the end. Soon, the food has been polished off. After lunch, you're in the kitchen with your mother, helping to clear up. Your mother had never expected you to really help with cooking or cleaning up after meals, the same way she doesn't expect your brother or father to. But you always enjoyed being in the kitchen, and often joined her. The kitchen quickly becomes one of the few quiet, intimate places that you shared, a sanctum of sorts. She's always been most comfortable talking to you about difficult topics amidst the cooking fumes and the sound of sizzling oil. Today, standing side by side at the sink, you can't help but feel a bit of that old closeness. You know, your father. She stops abruptly and waves her hand at you dismissively, changing tacks. Well, we're both not getting any younger. Oh? She's been saying this for years in an attempt to guilt trip you into returning home, but this time, her tone makes you think there might be more to it than she's letting on. Just as you're about to ask her what she means, she shakes her head and turns away. Your mother walks off to tie up the garbage into its plastic bag. Oh. When she returns, her expression is softened into a smile. It's good to have you back. I just wish you stayed longer. You blink. It's classic behavior from her, something almost tender, bundled up with a jab, and all to distract you from what she'd been about to say earlier. Frown. What were you about to say? Smile at her. I miss you guys too. Just nod, unable to say it back. Ooh. Is it bad that I want to see her, be honest about what's going on? I feel like this is important for our character to hear. Your brother shakes her head, as stubborn as you are. An exclamation, expressing dismay. Nothing. Just tell your father not to eat up so much oily fried food, okay? It did mention she was skinnier than usual and her dad was getting... It's mentioned that she... This might be just me coming to internal conclusions in my head regarding the mother character. But the note that she was getting skinnier. Huh. You nod. About to follow up with another question, but your mother clamps her mouth shut, a clear signal that's all she will say on the matter. Right as you head out of the kitchen to throw out the trash, your mom adds tentatively, So, How are things with you and Nat? You're not sure whether to be touched or horrified that she's finally recognizing your relationship with Nat now that it's finally over. Shake my head. I'm not getting to it. A bitter edge creeps into my tone. What do you care? You never liked Nat anyway. Bite my lip. We broke up. The mother was not saying the full thing to us earlier, and she did not approve of the relationship prior. I still feel like honesty may be the best choice here. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end up. You've never been really the type to go into details about your love life with your family, but you do mention Nat from time to time, and she features in your phone calls. The news spills out of you before you can stop yourself. We broke up. Oh no. How come? You sigh, wondering how to summarize all the subtle tides that had, little by little, carried you both in different directions. I guess in the end, it just felt like we didn't really belong in each other's worlds. You embrace yourself, waiting for her to say something about how she told you to date a Chinese Singaporean, but she doesn't. In fact, she actually does look sorry for you, even though her tone is gruff. Meh, an expression to express disbelief or doubt. With internet, there's still such a thing as different worlds, meh. You draw in a long breath, then shrug. Honestly, you're surprised at how your mother's actually trying to talk to you. That's new. The two of you stand wordlessly in the kitchen for a while, until finally, you grab the trash bag and head out. Journal updated. 24th December. Every time I visit, I'm reminded of how long I've been away. Mom asks how Nat was doing. Feels ironic that we broke up just as my family's starting to acknowledge the relationship. Just as you're rounding the corridor to the shared rubbish chute, you bump into Shay. She's repotting one of her plants in the corridor, humming a little tune as she works. She pauses and looks up as you walk past. She brightens and gives you an enthusiastic wave, nearly flinging a couple of clods of mud at you in the process. Chat with Shay, continue on my way. You know what, let's chat with her. You draw a little closer. Are you singing to your plants? After carefully setting the plant into its new pot, Shay straightens and smiles at you. Or to you, if you like. To your surprise, Shay actually begins to sing the chorus of the song she'd been humming, her voice oak-timbered and rough-hewn. You roll your eyes, but can't help smiling. Alright. Save it for the fiddly fig. I've been meaning to ask for your number. Click my tongue, teasing, just like that. No dinner day first? Sure, but if you piss me off, I'll pass your number to my mom so she can rant at you. Nah, rather not. It's an American number anyway. Teasing. I gotta go with teasing. Shay lets out a throaty laugh. I'm playing a Christmas gig tomorrow. Wanna come? We just met 5 minutes ago, and you want me to spend Christmas with you? Shay winks at you. Great music, drinks on me after. What a better way to spend Christmas? Besides, you're the one who wanted a dinner invite. That is fair. That is fair. We did ask for that. Anyway, no pressure. I'll send you the deeds and you can decide later. You nod, mulling it over as you head back into the house. You could already hear your mother in your head, grumbling about bad influences who drag you out into wild late-night parties instead of spending time with family on Christmas. Junior college, equivalent of high school grade 11 and 12. After dinner that night, you get a call from Junie, your best friend from junior college. You're back in Singapore! Finally! I stare at a picture of you on my phone once every couple of months so I don't forget what you look like. Is my lip bleeding? Oh my god, yeah. Oh, crap. Give me a moment, actually. I'm gonna real quick, figure out my lip. Yeah, since it's been very dry in the area I live in, I've been having very bad skin problems. So let me, stop the bleeding real quick before I get back to the game. Alright, I'm back. My apologies about that. Dry air does not work well with my body. I stare at a picture of you on my phone once every couple of months so I don't forget what you look like. You laugh. You've been friends for years, so you know just how dramatic she can be. That's creepy. Also, I literally just video called you a month ago. Still, you've got plenty to update each other about. Eventually, the conversation loops around to the class reunion scheduled for the day after Christmas. By the way, I'm gonna look up how to pronounce his name. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just need to look up how to pronounce this name because I don't want to get it wrong still. Cho. I don't know if it's the Mandarin pronunciation. They're giving me the Mandarin pronunciation. I don't know if it's supposed to be the Mandarin pronunciation, but I'm gonna go with Chow. Chow just confirmed that he's coming to dinner. Your heart twists. It's nearly been a decade since you last seen Chow. It feels as though you'd met each other a lifetime ago now. 10 years ago. You're at a party with Junie and her boyfriend, Tech. At some point between the rowdy drinking games and chit-chat, you wander out to the pool for a bit of a breather, alone for a little bit of a breather. You get a couple of seconds of blissful solitude before someone else slips out the back door and joins you. It's Chow. You've seen him around in school, and seen his name on every single dean's list since the dawn of time. You know he's got a reputation for being aloof, but you've never really spoken until today. Needed some peace and quiet? You laugh, and raise an eyebrow to him pointedly. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get it now. The conversation starts small. School, mutual friends, favorite bands. Then somehow, the momentum sweeps you both along with it. Chow listens more than he talks, and his attention feels all-encapsulating. Time passes in a hazy blur, thick and vicious. You keep talking longer than you plan to. People occasionally come in and out the back door, but you barely even notice. For who knows how long, nothing pierces the bubble that forms around the two of you. Eventually, though, the party begins to empty out, and the few remaining people come streaming out of the house. Suddenly, there's a loud whoop, and the host dives headlong into the pool with a massive splash. A second later, everyone hoots and plunges in after him one by one. Cackling and cheering erupts around you. Alright, it seems the madness is starting. I'm heading home. You? Laugh and jump into the pool, dragging Chow along with me. Nod. Yeah, let's get out of here. You know, I don't know if Chow wants to be all wet, so let's go ahead and join him. The two of you say your goodbyes to the rest, then walk out of the house together. You linger at the front gate. There are no stars. Not that you can see anyway, but the sparkle in Chow's eyes is close enough. It seems neither of you want to say goodbye just yet. The motion is so quick, you're not sure if you'd imagine it, but you can just about swear you see Chow's eyes slip down to your lips. Murmur, you're gonna kiss me or what? Press up against the house's side wall and kiss him. Take a deep breath and let the moment pass. Let's tease him. Your breath hitches as Chow closes the distance between you. One thing had led to another tonight, but you certainly hadn't expected it to lead to this. The kiss is bruising. Chow's hands come to grip your hips, and the world swirls all around you. When he finally pulls away, he's breathing hard, eyes still dark with desire. So, how are you getting home? Want to walk together? You smile, glad that Chow had found a way to make the night last a little longer. Weeks pass. After that, the two of you go back to your separate, parallel lives. Occasionally, you will bump into each other in the hallways between classes, but that kiss slowly fades into memory. That is, until the final year of junior college. As fate would have it, Chow transfers into your class and gets assigned a seat next to you. Classic high school romance setup. There's an inescapable intimacy to sitting shoulder to shoulder for hours every day, watching Chow take notes in his absurdly neat handwriting. As the days go by, the two of you begin spending more and more time with each other after class. Flirt opening with Chow. Keep my feelings to myself. Remain cold, almost competitive. Nah, let's flirt with him. You don't have a name for it yet, but every time his eyes meet yours from across the classroom, there's a sharp tug at your gut. You find every opportunity to tease Chow, to make him laugh. Whenever he smiles or blushes, you feel your heart flutter just a little. Even your classmates begin to notice, and it becomes a running joke in your class. When you ask if it's too much, if he'd prefer if you left him alone, Chow flushes right down to his neck. No, it's fine. From that moment on, you start thinking, hoping that maybe, just maybe, he feels the same way about you. One afternoon, after cheering your school team at a football match, you're on your way home when you realize you left your wallet behind. Cursing, you turn back. The storm hits. By the time you locate your wallet face down in a puddle at the edge of the field, you're soaked through. As you bend to pick the wallet up, a shadow comes over you. It's Chow, trying vainly to hold an umbrella over the two of you. Damn, you could see through his shirt. Damn. Yeah, I just noticed, I'm like, holy shit, like, what is going on with the shirt? But I'm like, oh, it's see-through because it's, like, literally a uniform. Because with white uniforms, it's just see-through. Damn. Yeah, no, what the, yeah. The rain's coming at you in great horizontal sheets, and the wind is yanking the umbrella around, despite Chow's best efforts to keep it upright. Thanks, but I'm not sure the umbrella is doing much at this point. I wonder if we're going to get a shirtless Chow scene when he's, you know, in his late 20s. I want to see that. I want to see a shirtless Chow scene when he's in his late 20s. High school, definitely not, but late 20s, I want to see that. Didn't realize you were such a defeatist. I mean, everyone is in their late 20s in this game, so that's like one thing I'm really liking about the romance. It's all late 20s, which is a bit more relatable for me. By the time you reach the shelter of the bus stop, you're both soaked to the bone and breathing hard from sprint. Chow looks down at his drenched clothes, pushes a wet strand of hair out of his face. A wet strand of hair. The bus stop is deserted. The buses must have gone by, which means there's a long wait ahead. The rain's loud enough that there's no pressure to talk, but Chow holds your gaze instead of taking out his phone. As you study Chow, you notice that his lips have gone slightly pale, and he's shivering slightly. Jesus, it looks like you are on the verge of death. I might be. Lean in. I can cuddle close for warmth. Grin. Hypothermia. In a tropical country, tomorrow's breaking news. Bite my lip guiltily. Oh dear, are you okay? Honestly, this is actually something I would legitimately say to someone. This is honestly something I would actually say. Asshole. Next time I'm leaving you out there. Chow steps closer, and suddenly, his face is only inches from yours. He lifts his chin. If this were a movie, you'd be offering me your jacket right about now. My eyes sparkle. How about a kiss instead? Chow's definitely flirting. My heart flutters. Sorry, this isn't a movie. Let's make it more of a movie! When your lips meet and your hands go up to grin Chow's lips, an involuntary tremor runs through him. You're almost certain it's not from the cold. A second later, a wave of water splashes into the bus stop, hitting the back of your leg. You step back, only to catch a bus trundle away and disappear around the corner. Oh shit. There goes my bus. A moment later, your bus pulls up. You give Chow a jaunty wave. Chow splutters. What? You're just gonna abandon me here after... Chow flounders and doesn't even finish the sentence. You climb aboard, suppressing a grin. Although you won't admit it to Chow, your heart's still doing loop-de-loops in your chest. See you tomorrow! From that day on, there's no turning back. You fall fast and hard for each other. You see each other every day, and spend hours talking on the phone in the middle of the night. Messages exchanged in the margins of literature books. A dozen different ways to type "I love you" on a graphing calculator. It's so far from the kind of romance you've been told to expect that you hadn't admitted it to yourself until it bludgeons you on the head. But in hindsight, the sweetness of sinking gently into that relationship will always be tainted by the memory of how things had soured between you. back to the present. Junie clears her throat, reminding you that she's still on the phone. So, you're coming to the class reunion, right? Yes, I'm over Chow. The thought of seeing Chow again makes my heart twist in complex ways. I don't really want to see Chow, but I'll survive. You know what? We're over Chow. It's been 10 years. You stopped dreaming about Chow sometime around your second year in New York. Stopped itching to look him up on social media to see what he was doing. Oh wait, that was relationships. Oh wow, our friendship with our mother is close now. Holy shit. We're getting closer with romance with Shay, Chow. Oh, it increased a little bit. Huh. Yeah, we're still friends with Nat. I feel bad for Nat. Yeah, I might be a little bit biased towards Shay, though. You've stopped dreaming about Chow sometime around your second year in New York. Stopped itching to look him up on social media to see what he was doing. Now, you'd like to believe that it's all water under the bridge. Anyway, you do want to see the rest of your classmates, and you'd be damned if you let Chow take that away from you. Yay! Judy's exclamation nearly blows out your eardrums. Fortunately, you had the foresight to hold your phone an inch away from your ear. Having extracted your promise to attend the reunion, Judy hangs up a little while later. You fall asleep that night with your mind still swirling with memories of a life you thought you'd left behind. The 25th of December. The rest of Christmas unfolds the way it usually does. Hectic, noisy, your extended family asking you way too many questions you don't have answers for. Fuksung. Halfway through dinner, you get a message from Nat, accompanied by a selfie with the dogs and Nat's parents out on a morning stroll. Merry Christmas! I hope you're eating all the chili crab on my behalf. If you want to call for a bit later tonight, let me know. The heart symbol in the message makes your heart throb, and you try to tell yourself that it had probably been an accident. Frequently use emojis and fat thumbs. There's also a message from Shay, with the address of the show she's doing tonight, as promised. Oh, I have to... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no, I can't believe I became fucking Joseph Joestar for a second there. Oh, no! I'm gonna have to choose between the two of them, aren't I? There's also a message from Shay, with the address of the show she's doing tonight, as promised. Yo, heard from your mom that you're a musician too. If you come tonight, you could totally guest star. Oh, our career! She's exactly the same through text as she is in real life. Flirty, errant, teasing. You text back and forth for a bit before your mother glares at you. Reluctantly, you put your phone away until after dinner. That is such a mom stare. That is such a disapproval stare. Once dinner winds down, you head out of the restaurant with your family. Nat and Shay's messages await your reply. Alright. I gotta go where I was thinking, Shay. Sorry, Nat. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Nat. But I'm really liking Shay. You text Shay to tell her that you'll be there and make your way to the address she sent. We did break up with Nat. I feel bad, though. I do feel bad. Maybe she'll be understanding. You text Shay to tell her that you'll be there and make your way to the address she'd sent at the live music venue. You soon arrive at Fat Dog Brewery, the roadside burger place and live music venue where Shay and her band are performing. There's an open-air patio with high tables and fairy lights strung up along the sides. You spot Shay just as she's about to follow her bandmates up on stage. Hey, you made it! Shay flashes you a wide smile out when she sees you. She's genuinely delighted, as though she had been sure you had actually come. She's about to say more when her bandmate yells impatiently from the stage, "Oi! Flirt later! Gotta get the show started!" Catch you in a bit! Enjoy the performance! Shay hops up the stairs to join her bandmates. The space facing the stage is already packed with people, With some creative maneuvering, you manage to weave your way towards the front. Hell yeah. The first song starts with a snazzy drum beat that explodes into a fast, rollicking melody. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I don't know how exactly they would sing that. The lyrics are absolutely ridiculous, and honestly, you'd expect nothing less from Shay. By the time the chorus comes around, most of the crowd is snorting with laughter and clapping or singing along. After the silly, upbeat opener, the band eases into a couple original songs. Your gaze zeroes in on Shay as she effortlessly works her magic. You hadn't been sure what to expect when Shay first asked you to come, but you're completely swept up by the music. Close to the end of the hour-long set, Shay's gaze picks you out amongst the crowd. I'd like to ask if a special guest would like to close out the night with us! A ripple of surprise woos at this, head swivel in all directions, curious. Shay shoots you a warm, playful smile, waiting for your answer. Fuck yeah, why not? Loud cheering from the crowd as you climb up on stage. When Shay introduces you to the crowd, they go wild for you. Someone cups their mouth and shouts, I love you! Either a fan or a very drunk person. Shall we do borrowed time? You nod, surprised that Shay knows it. Probably thanks to your mom, who tells everyone who will listen about your songs. This is the original song I wrote. It's about moments you wish could last forever. Oh my god. Once the audience quiets slightly, you give the signal to begin. You perform the song to a crowd this dozens of times before, but it still gives you a thrill each and every time. Shay's guitar weaves a soaring thread around your voice. Then, in the second verse, Shay steps closer to stare at the microphone and joins in, voice harmonizing with yours. Hell yeah. There's a raw undercurrent of vulnerability in Shay's voice that feels so intimate that you find yourself holding your breath, unable to look away. The two of you trade the bridge back and forth, improvising a duet. You make instinctive adjustments, stretching some of the notes and shortening others, carving out space for Shay's voice and guitar, just as she does for you. The strings illuminate Shay's face as she sings, face itches from yours. Your eyes flicker shut, and you let the music push you into a dizzying freefall. The song sounds completely different from how you've written it, but you like it this way. Two voices swirling around the deep, rich bones of drums and bass. My heart stirs in response. Shay's good. I mean, you guys are performing right now. Long, syrupy notes stretch and shimmer in the night air. In the third verse, Shay lifts the melody unexpectedly, climbing instead of falling, a question. You shift the tempo of the fourth and final verse to reframe the first, the same chords, but reverse, and answer. Your voices lock on the last note of the song. Shay's molten gaze find yours. The audience bursts into rapturous applause. You come to stand beside Shay and her bandmates. Thank you! We are the 1AM Lepak Band! Merry Christmas, everyone! After the performance, you sit down on a small stool next to Shay. You're all still sweaty and breathless, but vibrating with the familiar post-show adrenaline. That was amazing! You were incredible! Shay holds your gaze for a beat too long, acknowledging the moment of wordless telepathic connection you both felt. You can still feel the echo of that last note lodged between your ribs. You introduce yourself to Shay's bandmates. I'm Kin Seng. Lice. Lice. Wait, that's your name? Lice? Or Lise? It could be Lise. You blink. Unsure if you heard the name correctly. No, it's Lice. It's Lice. It's cause I get in your hair, and once I'm in your life, I'm impossible to get rid of. God damn. God, Lice sucked. Lice sucked when I was a kid. There was one occasion where, due to, I think it was either the fucking school bus or a flight, but God, we had a lice infestation. That was horrible. Conversation between the four of you flows easily over drinks. Kim Sung is laid back and easygoing, and Lice is delightfully blunt. So, Are you the neighbor who keeps yelling at Shay about muddy bike tracks? Shay laughs, shaking her head. No, the mom's the one who yells at me. You snort, elbowing Shay. You talk about my mom and not about me? Shay laughs. You jealous? Don't worry. Shay talks about you too. She made us all watch your YouTube music videos yesterday. Shay blinks, uncharacteristically nervous. Did we do the song justice? You nod, smiling as you recall how the song had been transformed. I loved it. We should record that version together. You didn't realize this was something you've been missing, but tonight, playing music with Shay and her bandmates, you feel seen in a way you haven't in a long time. Lepak, spend time loafing around. Why are you guys called the 1 a.m. Lepak band? Lepak is the Malay word for chill or slack off, but maybe there's a story to the name. One night, about 2 years ago, Lights and I were performing at a bar in Bugis. That was before I was part of the band. They had a different drummer then. The amp blew, and we were getting a lukewarm reaction from the crowd. At some point, some drunk man stands up and shouts, "Go sell insurance or something, losers!" Fast forward to after the performance, we head to a coffee shop and our drummer quits. She said, "We're a bunch of friends who love pop and play music together. That's not a real job." You nod sympathetically. Your parents and extended family have expressed similar sentiments on more than one occasion. Obviously, she meant it more negatively, but I overheard the conversation, and thought it sounded like fun. He pulls up a chair next to us. We start talking, and the 1 a.m. Lepak band was born. Shay grins at you. You're welcome to join the band anytime. Lice and Kim Sung snort, and after a beat, you laugh too. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, but she does have to go to New York though, like go back to New York. Punk rock Xmas. Oh, Xmas, Christmas. At some point, after polishing up the drinks and food, the four of you join the throng of people dancing in front of the stage. Keep things casual, move a little closer to Shay. Nah, fuck it. At some point, the two of you lose Kim Sung and Lice in the crowd. Shay steps closer, taking it in your hand. Is this okay? You nod, skin tingling just slightly from the contact. The two of you dance till your head spinning in a swirl of color and sound. When the singer croons about something about tropical Christmas, kisses on the beach under palm fronds, Shay's gaze shifts down to your lips, and she makes no move to hide it. Sure. Maybe it's the alcohol, maybe it's the atmosphere or the way Shay's looking at you. Whatever it is, the kiss sends electricity shooting down your spine all the way to your toes. Around you, everyone else melts away in a blur of motion. When you finally pull back, Shay continues to rest her forehead on yours for a while longer, tracing some slowly along your lower lip. I've wanted to do that since the moment we met. Was it what you imagined? That and no more. That and more. As the song winds to a close, you rejoin Shay's bandmates at the table. You catch Lice and Kim Sung looking at you curiously, but at your self-conscious expression, Lice rolls her eyes and waves a hand at you. Don't worry, nothing I haven't seen before. Shay laughs, shaking her head. You guys are the worst wingmen ever. The three of them devolve into good-natured bickering. Eventually, you decide to call it a night. It's getting late, and the venue has begun to empty out. Head home. Instead of taking a taxi back, you accepted a ride back from Shay on her motorbike, Havelock Road to the right, CTA LCE, is that the anarchism symbol on the left, and Brabi Road. Cool wind befes your face, and the engine thrones beneath you. You're beginning to relax, taking in the Christmas lights when the bike suddenly sails over a speed bump. You get a millisecond of air time before hitting the ground again, nearly crashing into Shay's back. Shay laughs, but doesn't take her eyes off the road. You can hold on to me if you want. put my arms around Shay's waist, put your hands lightly on Shay's shoulders, grab the metal bar at the back of the bike, and brace myself. I'm going all in on the Shay route, I think. Shay leans back slightly, so you can feel her warm body against yours. You rest your chin on her shoulder. Enjoying the ride? So much I'm considering getting myself a motorbike. Shay chuckles. At the next stoplight, she looks over at you, dark eyes sparkling. In the meantime, I'd be happy to take you on as many joyrides as you want. Shay takes another wide turn. The swooping sensation makes your pulse race, and your grip around Shay's waist tightens just a little. My aunt used to fetch me around on her motorbike as a kid. She called it eating air. As the bike flies along the nearly empty roads, you taste the crisp night air on your tongue. I can see why she called it that. The ride is almost too short. Before you know it, Shay pulls up in the car park of your apartment block. Shay pauses. I had a really nice time tonight. She looks hopefully at you. Want to come over to my place? Shay's eyes light up in genuine excitement. She takes your hand, and the two of you walk back toward the lift lobby where you first met. Shay leads you into her bedroom, flicking on the lights. It's been a long time since you felt this thrumming, pulsing electricity with someone other than that. You push aside this thought and look around the room. It's crowded with all sorts of posters, and as expected, plants of various shapes and sizes. There's a guitar hanging on the wall, and even an old vinyl record player on the side table. If you're wondering, I've recently installed some soundproofing so the neighbors don't complain about the jamming sessions. Occasionally, it comes in handy for other activities too. Oh, that's very forward. You snort, punching her in the arm. Shay laughs and puts on a canto pop record on Cantonese pop. A smoky, velvet baritone fills the room. Walk Shay toward the bed, smiling, intimate. Snuggle in bed and enjoy the music together. Sit on the edge of the bed, chatting. Well, I'm not streaming. I am curious. I am not streaming. I'm just genuinely curious with this one. You press a hand to Shay's chest, walking her toward the bed. When the back of her knees hit the bed, she grins, cornered. You see, if there's any moment where I'm gonna have to blur the screen, that's because this is YouTube. I can't show this on YouTube. I'm just genuinely curious to see, see what happens. Kiss me. Blood pools at your gut. You don't need to be asked twice. This time, the kiss is open mouth, hungry and a little sloppy. You taste the gin and lime on Shay's lips. Every last shred of your caution falls away in a haze of desire. Shay's hands slide down your body to your hips, then pause at the hem of your shirt. She breaks away long enough to look at you, eyes hooded. May I? Good, you're asking consent. Very good. You nod, letting out a soft huff of breath when Shay strips out your shirt. Her clothes joins yours in a heap by the bed. Shay tips you over onto the bed, and things progress very quickly after that. I don't think I need to describe that. A while later. Yeah, I don't think anyone needs to describe what happened there. Gradually, the two of you come down from your highs, breaths evening out. Your body still tingles with residual pleasure, completely loose and boneless. Shay lends you a fresh set of clothes, and the two of you settle back into bed next to each other. Shay rests a head on your shoulder, smiling. You know, I was expecting you to be good, but that was a tad better than good. You laugh. Tad better than good? Such scintillating praise. Huh? I don't know that word. Shay wraps an arm around you, scooting closer. She traces her fingers along your body, mapping its contours. Want to hear something a little sad? Trigger warning, homophobia being the zone. Okay. There's a raw honesty in Shay's gaze that makes you sober up a little. You get a feeling that Shay hasn't told this story to many people, because it spills out of her in jumbled pieces. In junior college, I had a crush on a basketball teammate. For weeks, it appeared as though she felt the same way. but she never said anything explicitly. We went to prom, with different dates of course, but we bumped into each other in the bathroom. You raise an eyebrow. Shane nods, shooting you a wry look. Yeah, teenage hormones. You can probably guess what happened next. Things got heated. One of our teachers walks in on us. That might have not been that big of a deal, but my teammate blurts that I've come on to her, that she hadn't wanted any of it. Your gut twists, arm tightening around Shay. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was my exact thought, too. Yeah, they believed her because I wasn't exactly a model student in those days. After that, I was nearly kicked out of school, and my parents. Well, my aunt took me in. I turned 18 a year later and never looked back. Shay's tone softened as she waves a hand at you, winking. I like to think things have gone uphill since then. Shay sobers her up slightly. There's something dark and fierce burning steadily in her eyes. People keep telling me to leave. Melbourne, London. Shay arches an eyebrow, dimples flashing. New York. Ah! But why should I be the one to leave? I have people I care about. I'm happy here. Most days anyway. You laugh and touch a hand to Shay's cheek gently. Now, knowing this about her, you can't help seeing her easy, laid-back optimism as courage, something she'd chosen and continues to choose. You run half the world in search of happiness. You run half the world away in search of happiness, freedom. She had found it here somehow. Sorry if I'm stumbling over words. I've been very exhausted from convention planning. Leslie Chung's voice floats through the room, ethereal and wistful. Leslie Chung. I don't recognize that name, actually. I don't know a lot of cantopop artists, to be honest. Shay's so close that you can feel the warmth from her skin. I'd very much like it if you stayed over tonight. Thing is, though, how would the family act to her staying the night of the to us staying the night of the neighbors? Sorry, Shay. Shay nods, gaze lingering on your face. Shay nods, and she changes track slightly. There's a boxing gym I go to in Gaylong. Do you want to come with me? We could have dinner after. You raise an eyebrow, and Shay laughs. I know it sounds like I'm suggesting it so I could beat you up, but it'll be fun, I promise. Even Lice think so, and they hate exercise. Sure, why not? First you stole my lift, now you drag me somewhere to beat me up. But your voice is teasing, and Shay's eyes sparkle. You won't regret it. The next morning. You wake up to sunlight streaming in from the window. Still sleep muddled, you must have forgotten to close the curtains last night. A quick glance at your phone tells you it's only 7:30 a.m. You're still jet lagged, but fortunately you've been tired enough to sleep through the night. You turn around to try to go back to sleep, but your thoughts keep drifting back to last night with Shay. It feels like we had fun. You no longer believe in love at first sight, or soulmates, but you can't deny how quickly you've been drawn to Shay. You like the way she makes you laugh, the way she'd ease into your heart. You hadn't felt so comfortable with anyone, but not in a long time. Last night's intimacy had felt new and unfamiliar. Maybe you needed that. Journal updated. The 5th of December, with the Shay's performance, and one thing led to the next. I think I'd like to see. Oh, I think some of the commands for the pronouns may be a little broken. Yeah, I might suggest looking into that. I think the pronoun commands on Rimpi might be bugged a little bit. Also, what time is it actually? Oh, I'm at actually my cutoff time. Like, I still need to do some conference prep, as I mentioned. Holy shit, I did not realize I was already playing this for about, like, 90 minutes already. I am really enjoying my time with this game. Let me save real quick. yeah, I'm gonna probably play more of this, very soon. Like, I'm gonna have to cut this demo off right here, though, on my end, since I do need to start getting more ready for the conference I'm going to, since, yeah, I will need to be packing. I'm halfway done with packing, but I need to clean up my laptop since my laptop's going to be used at the conference for some playtesting at Mixer. So I will be, yeah, having to end this video right here, right now. But before I end off this video, I would like to, shout out this game, Merry Crisis. Yeah, Merry Crisis. It's now available on Steam. If you would like to check out this game and play for yourself, please click the link down below. I'm really enjoying this game. Like, I got way into it. I've broken my cutoff time already, so I'm already behind on my schedule today, but I really enjoyed the game. Like, that's a good thing, actually. If I'm, like, messing up my schedule for something, that's a really good thing. Like, I got way into the demo. But, yes, that is all the time I have for this video, and if you'd like to support the developers of this game, please click the link down below. This game is made by Monsoon Games, and, yeah, they are going to be releasing this full game in Q4 of this year, so please stay tuned. I might, play a bit more of this game later this year when it fully comes out. But thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.
Okay, okay.